Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us crack on with our next fabulous Bright Club of this evening. Let's go crazy now for the wonderful Mr. Lewis Dean. Let's go!
Good evening. Yes, so I'm Lewis Dean, and I'm from the University of St Andrews, the best university in Scotland. Yeah, sorry Dundee, we bribed the Times more again this year. I don't know if you know that the University of St Andrews this year is 600 years old. Well, I say this year, it's kind of anywhere between 2011 and 2014. Mainly for two reasons. First, you can raise more money if you drag it out for 4 years. And secondly, back in the 15th century when the university was founded, you needed to go to the Pope to get permission to set up a university. So, in 1410, the Archbishop of St Andrews decided to dispatch a young scholar called Henry Ogilvie off to Spain, where the Pope was based at the time. And it took Henry 3 years to get an audience with the Pope and get permission. Now, I know travel took a little while in those days, but that's an undergraduate level of procrastination, isn't it? I mean, just imagine how cross the Archbishop must have been. Henry! I'm not sure why I'm on the phone, it's the 15th century. Dear Henry, have you seen the Pope yet? No, Archbishop. Last week's my grandmother's funeral. Henry, that's the 8th grandmother you killed off in the last 2 years. I do speak to your other tutors, you know. No, sorry, I meant I had a really important shinty tournament at the weekend. Henry, now I know you're lying. No one thinks shinty's important. It's just an excuse for a piss-up. So anyway, we move on about 600 years, and we've got a biology department now, and I'm an evolutionary biologist, and I'm interested in the evolution of human culture. And by that I don't mean pork pies and cricket and xenophobia. I mean kind of what underpins that culture. And we've always kind of been fascinated about why humans, what's so special about us. And we've kind of taken over the planet, and we've just sent a spaceship out of the solar system. We've come up with hundreds of different languages. We've invented thousands of religions. Yeah, we've invented thousands of religions. But everything we kind of look at, other animal species do as well. And for a long time we thought that humans were the only animals that could use tools. And then we discovered that chimps can use stones to crack nuts, and crows can make hooks out of grass. And orangutans, they use sticks as dildos. Yeah, that's presumably why they've never bothered taking over the world. But the thing that really makes humans special is that we're really social. I mean, believe it or not, we're really good at working together. And we can come up with these remarkable kind of traditions and these entirely pointless things. I mean, if you think about it, you know, things like music or sport or the House of Lords. And the flip side of this, though, is that we always sort of see humans in inanimate objects. I don't know if you saw the news a couple of years ago. There was a house in Swansea that apparently the locals thought looked like Hitler. Yeah, apparently in South Wales, if your house has a pitched roof, 2 stories and an intact door, it's inherently evil. Don't worry, I'm not being racist. My parents retired to Wales. Speaking of my parents, I often feel that I've kind of disappointed them sometimes when I'm chatting to their friends, and you know, you're sort of chatting away and they're, oh, I hear you're a biologist, Lewis. Yes I am, yeah. Oh, what is it you do? Are you solving world hunger? No, Margaret, plants really aren't my thing. Oh, okay, are you curing cancer? No, pipetting small amounts of fluid between 2 test tubes is really just quite dull. Well, what is it you do then? I go to the zoo and I watch monkeys all day. And they always judge you, but then they're always back. And they're always back with a question. And it's usually about their pets. Because they've always got some weird behaviour that they want explained. And then you can fuck with their minds. You see, because they'll talk to you and they're, Tiddles, he loves to come up and lick my husband's ear. Or, you know, Fido, he always runs off with my slippers, but never my wife's. And you look at them and you say, You know what that is? That's hunting behaviour. He's planning how to kill you. And there are a couple of my parents' friends who don't believe in evolution. Don't worry, I'm not going to suddenly go all Richard Dawkins on you. I can't muster that amount of self-righteousness in one go. But, you know, they've got their points of view, and that's fine. But really, do you think there was a creator? I mean, he wasn't really Michelangelo, was he? And if this is the pinnacle of creation, there's really something dodgy going on. And the human bodies are a really good example of how badly, you know, if we designed, how badly it was done. When you think of bad backs and you think of the blind spot in our eyes, and for men, there's a higher incidence of hernias, and that's because your testicles start up here in your abdominal cavity, and they drop. Sorry, that's a lovely image for you there, isn't it? And they drop to between your legs, and they do that early on in development. Well, they do for most people anyway. For some of us, it takes a little bit longer. And the thing is, if they don't drop by the time you're about 10, it can be really quite bad for you. You see, it really leaves a scar in your mind when you're a 12-year-old who has to report at breakfast each morning whether your balls have dropped. Don't worry, they did. Sure you love that information. But you know, just while you're pondering that one, biologists are often kind of thought of maybe, you know, not particularly funny. See a few nods there, thank you. But I'm not entirely convinced by that. And one of the things that's convinced me of that is recently there were some colleagues of mine who work out in Germany, and they reported in a paper a task that they'd set some chimpanzees, and it's this puzzle that they can get some food out of. And there are 3 different ways you can get food out of it. And the second way, they called the fingering method. And I thought, oh dear, English is the second language. The editor hasn't really picked this up. It seems a bit weird, doesn't it? And then I read through further and I thought, oh, no. This wasn't a mistake. These guys have got a sense of humour. Because when you get to the method and they define everything, the fingering method is defined as inserting one or more finger into the front hole of the apparatus. Thank you very much.